But your thoughts today?
So, I think one of the things that is the least helpful and that I've sort of started to hear the stirrings of out there are the dissection of the Kamala Harris campaign. Because I think it's clear from the results that when you look at the states that she won, we just saw Washington State where she won handily, in the places and the constituencies that she won, people who were more secular, Black women overwhelmingly, all but 20% of Black men. Black men ticked up 1% from the last time that the same percentage voted for Donald Trump. That's not a change. The places where she made inroads, slight inroads among college educated white women who went a little bit more her way. It's clear that given the fact that he won the
she loved to mention race with everything she talk about. Like, it's crazy. Like, she don't know how to just speak on something and not mention race. Like, I know it's, you got to talk about the demographics of the election, but it's just like she loved race talk.
The popular vote, which is something that hasn't happened since your former boss 2004. There's nothing that Kamala Harris could have done. There's no other sort of tweaks to her investment strategy of her $1 billion campaign that was picture perfect in almost every way. But for a few things you could quibble with, the not allowing the uncommitted folks to speak at the convention will be looked at as maybe that could have helped her in Michigan had she embraced, Palestinian rights supporters more. But there is no tweak that she could have done that would have stopped her from being a Black woman. And we know that this country.
And see, that's the thing. How the hell could she see? That's what I'm saying. She loved race. You get what I'm saying? She loved race so much. Instead of her just understanding that, hey, maybe she's not the good candidate. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe she's, not it for us. You know what I mean? Maybe she's not speaking to majority of the country. It doesn't have nothing to do with race or her being a woman. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, to me, she just got to put race involved with this. Like, I don't understand why it's got to be a racial thing all the time.
Country has had a history of not supporting the freedom and rights of women. And even some women not supporting the freedom and rights of women broadly at the national level. And we know that this country has a deep history of anti-Blackness. And when you look at the two constituencies that went hardest, that swung hardest for Trump, it was white men who we knew that's how they were going to vote. It was white women who still voted despite the deep and open disrespect shown to them by Donald Trump and especially by J.D. Vance. And it was Latino men who swung hard toward Donald Trump. And so I think what we've seen is we had essentially an Argentina election where you also had an election that was a hardcore surge of men, of men who were disgruntled with the liberalizing of society, and men who want a more authoritarian form of government, more control, and less social liberalism. There's nothing she could have done to change the way those men think. Going on Joe Rogan wouldn't have helped. None of the things none of it would have changed.
I'm just trying to figure out, how do she know so much on how men think? Like, see, that's part of the problem right there. But we're going to keep going.
Because she is the thing that they don't want. A Black woman seeking power.
They're going to race thing again. Black woman seeking power. Come on, bro. You think it would have been this way if Michelle Obama would have ran? No. Come on, man. Ain't nobody wanted her. Come on, man. Get it through your greasy head. Goddamn, you talking about some, you always speaking of race, but you Black with a goddamn blonde hair. Come on, man. I mean, when you really look at it, bro, it's just crazy how some of these people be thinking and how they be talking, man. I mean, god damn, like, you can't get it. But let's look at I think she got some more clips. Let's look at some other stuff they was talking about. Cause already REID. Miss goddamn Miss Black with the blonde hair.
one-on-ones since the election. So I wanted to begin tonight with an acknowledgement of our new reality. Millions of Americans woke up Tuesday morning full of hope and joy, anticipating the election, finally, of America's first woman president. They put their faith in Vice President Kamala Harris to deliver not just the star-studded joy and the power of the culture from Beyonce to Taylor to basically every star in Hollywood, plus the many memes and incredible digital content, but all.
See, that was where you went wrong at first. Y'all went and got all them booty shaking stars. You get what I'm saying? Y'all don't even understand. Like, y'all don't have a clue. White women don't listen to them.
Also, the change that could make this multicultural democracy real and accessible and affordable to everyone. I mean, money for elder care and small businesses and child tax credits, what? But that is obviously not what happened.
And here's the thing about the tax credit. It's like, it's a double-edged sword when you really think about it, because how the hell, if you're going to get a tax credit when they promote you to have an abortion? Make it make sense. So they promote a tax credit that you probably wouldn't even get to because they're going to wave an abortion in your face as soon as you say you're pregnant.
What happened? Instead, knowing all that we know about Donald Trump, his vulgarity and venality, his 34 felony counts and adjudicated sexual abuse of E. Jean Carroll, and so many other women he preyed on, his buddy-buddy relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, his theft of classified documents, his fealty to Vladimir Putin, and that attempted coup. Despite all of that.
But I guess you don't think that we peeped that it might be a little bit of fake charges looking like a political prosecution to me. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but just the way that it all came about, it looked like y'all was scared of somebody winning an election more or less than just prosecuting them in the name of justice.
That a majority of American voters actively chose him over her. Women all over this country know what it feels like to be the far more qualified woman who loses the job to mediocre or underqualified men. Black women doubly so. And people are rightfully depressed.
There she go with that race again. You know, the black people, we got it the hardest. Let her tell it. I mean, but I've known some of the richest black people in the world these days. But anyway, we ain't got to go there.
And scared. The Republican Party has made it clear they're not mad at the whole Nazi thing. They actually find some of the ideas, mass deportation, internment camps, white Christian nationalism, to be kind of okay. And autocracy definitely feels imminent. This era is especially frightening if you're a woman or black or gay or bi or trans or in an immigrant or in a mixed status family. And that danger is not in your head. And even in a normal time, when an election goes sideways, it is tempting to feel kind of dumb for having ever believed that the change you dreamed of was possible at all. I mean, who were we to believe that America would ever elect a woman, let alone a black and Asian woman as its president? I mean, sure, Mexico.
There she go again, using race. I mean, we probably could count, like, I bet you we'll lose all our fingers and toes trying to count how many times she mentioned race whenever they allow her to be on TV promoting this. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, some of the things she said is just bullshit. It's just fear-mongering. I mean, and it's just like trying to keep you in the loop until the next election. So she going to sell you this for 4 years. You can count on that.
Mexico just did it, but not us. We're America. We don't do these things. But it is not crazy or dumb to believe in the possibilities of America. Millions of people all around the world do too. My parents did. That's why they, like so many immigrants, including Kamala Harris's parents, came here to this crazy platypus of a country cobbled together by people from everywhere and with its tortured history, but also so much potential. It is not crazy to believe. It's not crazy to dream. In fact, it's kind of sad not to. And Kamala Harris lived up to our dreams. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. She ran a remarkable 107-day emergency campaign full of joy and hope.
Joy and hope, but wouldn't answer no questions. Took her, what, how many days? 40 days before she decided to even speak to the people? Before she wanted to have a personal press conference and, had them one-on-one so we could really understand what she got going on. And then when she decided to show us what she had going on, it took her humble little crack, the little, her friends at The View, good old Sonny, to bless her with the blessing and the curse of her election by asking her that question, and which, in my opinion, took her out.
She and Tim Walz raised $1 billion in a couple of months, and she whipped Trump in their one and only debate. And yesterday at her alma mater, Howard University, Kamala Harris, first of her name, did something Donald Trump would never do. She conceded graciously and vowed to conduct a peaceful transfer of power.
We already
of 54 to 43% over Donald Trump for 18 to 29-year-olds and 49 to 48% for voters 30 to 44, according to the NBC exit polls. And particularly millennial and Gen Z women who went 61-37 in her favor for 18 to 29-year-olds and 54-43 from age 30 to 44. Millions of college students, recent graduates, and young Americans who put their faith in her. Make no mistake, fam, it is young Americans, not those of us in Gen X or boomers or retired silent generation folks who are the economically insecure. Young Americans are the ones who can't afford to buy a home or start a business or a family. They are the ones who have economic anxiety, not the people of my generation, Gen X, many of whom have savings in the bank and bitch about the economy while planning overseas vacations.
But this is the thing, though. They only had that when Biden came into office. I mean, like, let's be real. Prices jumped up when they came into office. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that. So, I mean, to sit here and say that, people having trouble buying houses. Man, I know people was doing a lot of things a couple of years ago. And then when Joe Biden and Harris came into office, shit got spooky.
These vacations. Yet it was the hip hop and Hulk Hogan generation, the F your feelings latchkey kids who came up on Dynasty, Dallas, and The Apprentice, who were the lone age group that voted in a majority for Trump. A majority of Gen X voted to turn America into an autocracy and to condemn our kids and grandkids to a far-right Supreme Court, probably for the rest of their lives. And it was not just Gen X. Because while 91% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris, 53% of white women overall voted for Trump, despite the open disrespect and demonization hurled by J.D. Vance and the Supreme Court stripping women's bodily autonomy, courtesy of Donald Trump, who closed his repulsive campaign by dropping the B word on Nancy Pelosi. The breakdown by education was stark. Harris won 57% of white women with college degrees and lost 63%.
So, to me, I think that's kind of an insult to women, to white women, because, like, why the hell would you, what the hell do a college degree or anything like that got to do with anything? Like, people know what they feel. People know if they can't afford food or they can't afford electricity, or, if it's everything too high. Like, you're talking about women who have to deal with the household, who do it on a daily basis. Like, how wouldn't you think that they know when the price is going up and prices going down? They're the ones that do the shopping. So it wouldn't even matter if they had a college degree or a high school diploma. If they can count and do math and raise a family, then they understand when prices going up and prices going down. They can see the numbers and know that. But I guess you need a college degree to vote for Kamala Harris, huh? Just like the rich donors, man. This crazy, man. It's kind of insulting, though.
Of white women without them. It was also men Trump won every age group of men, including 60% of Gen X men and 6 in 10 white men. Also Latino men, who despite the utter disrespect shown by Trump and his promise to deport some of your mixed status families, most of them voted in a
So the thing about it is, obviously, if they voted for him, they're not worried about who getting deported. I mean, so to them, you don't have a right. You shouldn't do. You know, you're getting judged for doing this. Basically, she's judging you for voting for him. If you chose to vote for him, you got a problem. But they're saying this is a democracy, you know, of freedom and all this other foolishness. But you can kind of tell how people, you know, how the words go, how they really feel. But she really don't hide it. I believe that she's like one of the black racists, like she's like one of the most racist people on TV, if you ask me. Her and this other lady we about to get into.
55% majority to make the deportations happen. Y'all voted with Stephen Miller and David Duke and against your own sisters and chose Kamala Harris with 60% of their votes. So you own everything that happens to your mixed status families and to your wives, sisters, and abuelas from here on in.
So I guess you're getting scolded for voting for who you want to vote for. Wow. See, to me, it just seemed like everybody just lost when it comes to what people wanted. And it seems like people putting their best interests of what they felt like was their best interest in front of what the American people wanted. Then again, their ass is lost and they don't know nothing. And they gonna continue to lose because they lost. And if I was you, I wouldn't listen to that BS that they be spilling because it sounds like a bunch of crap. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like that is foolishness. Like to sit there and listen to that all day, I can understand why you get out there and argue with people all day in the streets when they get to telling you the truth because you can't hear the truth because you're listening to that. So if I was y'all and I was on that, man, I probably try to slide somewhere else because that's some bullshit that they be spitting. And that's just being real. But I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Until next time.